This week, we have another long overdue movie.
Yes.
It
is true.
It's been on the list for a super long time. But once again, shiny object syndrome. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that?
Ooh.
And, yeah. But we finally got to it.
We did.
And I can say this. We talk about things in the episode. But the following episode after this one is a really good one.
Yes, this is true.
We're going to be talking with some people. Shh. Not going to say who. You have to wait for the episode to come out, folks. But this was a fun movie.
Yes.
We kind of, went in with a bit of a bias. We figured it would be. Because, it's David Ryan Keith.
Yes.
And he just makes really good movies and we love them. And this was no exception.
Yeah. I mean, I will admit we are a little biased, I think, when it comes to films by David Ryan Keith, just because they're all so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we go on about it in the episode. We explain why they're so good, because they just are. But it's a ghost story.
'Tis.
And we're typically not fans of modern ghost stories.
This is true. I tend to stay away from them just because, we explain in the episode, but I tend to stay away from them because I just don't usually like them.
Yeah, same here. The older ones, like the classic, right?
Oh, sure.
Followed every, the formula, if you will, of presenting a good ghost story. And this one does just that. It's, David has this connection. It does feel
like a very classic kind of ghost story.
He has a connection to what made movies good, what made storytelling good.
Yeah.
And he just does this modern stuff with it and bam.
It just works.
Yeah. So, I don't think there's much more to go on about except for getting into it, except for this one thing. And we say it in the episode, but I think it needs to be right at the front.
Okay.
Listeners, if one of you is one of those people who makes decisions, writes checks, hooks up projects and stuff, hire this man or fund this man's projects so he can do a great many things in rapid succession instead of the indie filmmaker's time span, which is always 3-4 years to get from A to B,
Throw some money at David Ryan Keith.
Yes. And we'll next episode be talking a lot more about that.
Yes, we will.
But for right now, I think we should talk about this excellent movie.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Hey there, B-Siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-Side. This is Danny.
And this is Jim.
And this week, we have another movie from our good buddy, David Ryan Keith.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And
finally, I mean, all these things are on the radar.
Yes.
But then we just get distracted and tangents and yeah.
Well, gosh, here's the problem with doing a podcast about indie films. Are you ready?
Bring it.
There's so fucking many.
I know.
There's so many.
I know.
And we want to watch all of them, but we can only record one of these a week. To do more would be folly.
Untenable.
Yeah.
Well, and it doesn't help, that we know so many people who have all these films. That doesn't help the selection process.
Yeah.
Because, we're sort of the shiny object kind of thing.
I know I am.
Let's do this one. We have one that we now have access to. I'm not going to say what it is.
I'm very excited.
Right. And boom, boom, boom. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Maybe next week?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe, fingers crossed. We'll be talking to David next week.
Well, yeah, that would be cool.
And hopefully Lorraine.
Also would be cool.
Yeah.
We talk to a lot of guys on this podcast.
We do.
We don't talk to a lot of women, which I mean, we have talked to some.
Right.
But I wish we could get some more up in here.
I know. Well, some of that's on me. I got to do some more reaching out, but I do want to get Julia Marchese back on because she shot her Stephen King short.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm assuming it's still in post. And because, shit takes forever in the indie world. It's nothing to be done about it.
Yeah.
And there's a few other people I would very much like to have on here from different, platforms of the creative film industry. But I mean, this is really indicative of how very male driven the entertainment industry is, right? I mean, we've had Tucky.
Yeah.
Right. And she's just like, I'm just going to do my thing. And she has been.
Yeah. And she's awesome.
Yeah. But for every Tucky, there's 25,000 guys out there.
I know.
Writing, directing, or, controlling things. And, I mean, the tides are changing, but we know how slow these things go,
Right.
So, yeah. You know what we should do?
What should we do?
We should, because we're only a couple recordings away from our end of the year.
Yes.
But we should start 2022, and we should exclusively search out women directors, writers, the actors in these things, and really focus on that and just kind of drive that for a while.
I like that. I think that it would be very difficult for the year of 22 exclusively do, female produced indie films.
Probably.
But
only because we just don't have the time to research, 52 full on.
Right.
Right. We just kind of go, it's sort of a whim.
Well, and we might get opportunities to do cool stuff that,
Well, yeah. But usually, I mean, picking these things out, our highly scientific process is, that looks pretty cool. What's that?
Yeah.
It's got a trailer? Yeah. All right. Let's do that for the show. Boom. Done.
Right.
And then, on to the other stuff that we have to do. So.
Well, I think for our retrospective, we should pick a female director.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to. And yeah, well, that's the problem is that we'll deal with it. We'll get to it. Oh man. So we're recording one day after we did the intro for last week's episode.
This is true.
I'm still sniffly.
You are still sniffling.
I'm going to be doing a lot of that. Seems like the poor Midge
just caught it. Oh, that girl.
Caught it. Yeah, she is in her room, knocked out.
She's been sleeping a lot of the day.
Yeah, she's just like,
But to her credit, she did the cleaning stuff and didn't complain about anything.
She did her
chores.
Really well. Did her chores, got up, had dinner, and just sort of floated back in there. And yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the excitement for the week. We talked about the phones.
No, we didn't. Well, did we?
Kind of.
Okay.
Well, because we talked about how her quarter one report was stellar.
Yeah, that's true.
And she put a lot of work into that, and it had incredible results.
She's a good kid. I think we're doing all right.
So yeah, we swapped out her aged phone.
Yes.
For one that is probably 50 times more powerful. iPhone 13, which she'll use 8-9% of its potential. Yeah, but whatever. She earned it. She earned it.
She did.
So, yeah. a little bit of a spoiler here. One of the reasons we're focusing on this bad boy is because there is a movement for a sequel.
Ooh.
Yeah. It seems like David's going to get some financing. He's still going to have to, push for the rest. But that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge, being able to get financing, period.
Yes.
Right? In indie, instead of, Kickstarters and GoFundMes and Patreons and all that. It's a big deal. And I would love to see a sequel.
I would love to also. I don't know what would happen in the sequel, but
Well, I guess we would find out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting. And David, if you're listening to this, I'm still waiting for a sequel to Herbals.
Right? So my work situation has changed. I have a new employer, right? Still working from home, which is awesome. But a number of people that I've met, one person has seen Attack of the Herbals.
What?
Yep.
Shut up. How?
And they found it on YouTube.
Awesome.
Just random movie searching. Loved
and you were
it.
like, oh, I know the guy who did that.
Yeah. So I was kind of like a hero for a moment there. A lot of people are out there getting a hold of David's stuff. And just folks, listeners, so you know, I'm going to be oozing about David. Because I'll just start out saying he's just so damn good.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about different elements of this that back that up. I mean, it's not an opinion. It's a fact, right?
Yeah, I know. And just looking at my notes, like a lot of this is like kind of fangirling about David's style and just how amazing he is.
Yeah. Well, should I tell us what's going on?
I would like that.
All right.
Report in.
Yes, ma'am. This week, we are doing Ghosts of Darkness.
Don't do that voice, though.
Oh, come on.
This is bad radio.
Bad radio.
Yeah.
You just bad radioed me?
I did.
Oh, man. All right. Stop talking. This week, we're doing Ghosts of Darkness. It was released in 2017, written and directed by David Ryan Keith, starring Michael Koltes, Paul Flannery, and Steve Weston. No rating. We know how that goes. The budget was about 35,000 euros, which translated to about 39,000 US.
Yes.
Okay. And we have our plot here. So we have two paranormal investigators are unexpectedly thrown together in the hope of solving a 100-year mystery. Locked for 3 nights in a house with a dark and unsettling past, the two investigators must put their differences to one side and work together. Skepticism and showmanship are soon to be put to one side when the two investigators realize there is more at stake than just their professional reputation. For once, they have stumbled onto the real thing, but this time it's their own lives at stake.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
What I would say if I were to, like, in a nutshell, try and like get someone to watch this. And this is just me.
Uh-huh.
But like, you always see those like, would you stay? It's a picture of like a creepy house.
Right.
And it's like, would you stay in this house for, 3 nights for $1 million?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the premise of this film is kind of like that. Like these guys are brought in and that's, the premise. You have to stay here for 3 nights and you'll get a bunch of money.
Right. Yeah. And we'll talk more about the guys as we get into it.
Right.
So this bad boy was shot in under 3 weeks, which, that's why we want to have Lorraine on here, because David and Liam both made it very clear that any level of efficiency is due to Lorraine.
Yes.
Right. And she is an executive producer on here. So, just to talk to her about keeping things moving and, keeping because it's difficult to keep a schedule, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you have like no money to burn to go over And then you're the one who has to keep the schedule, but the other person has the vision, right?
Yeah.
Because we've talked about how many takes can you take. I mean, with digital, it doesn't cost money like it did with film.
Right. But you could spend all day.
Right. But it takes time.
Yeah.
And time is the thing, right?
Yes.
Everything costs. Even if you aren't paying people in like no budget, low budget stuff, there's still, like, this was location shots, right?
Right.
And you're only allowed so much time in a location. You can't just like keep showing up for 6 months when it was supposed to be 30 days.
Yeah.
You know, the owner of the place is gonna be like, so we need to have a talk. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that the casting crew all stayed on location in the house that they filmed this in, which is interesting.
Very cool. And to me, that seems to make sense if that's an available option.
Yeah.
Because David has a knack for finding things that are just way the fuck out in the middle of nowhere, man.
Really cool things.
That's like a lot of time burnt up on the road back and forth if you can't get people there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going back to, you know, keeping things efficient and on schedule for a second, I do have to tip my metaphorical hat to anyone who can rein in David and Liam.
Yes.
Just in any sense.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh, yet another reason I would love to have just even 5 minutes talking to Lorraine.
Yeah.
You know, that's just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing, you know. And for those of you who don't know who we're talking about Lorraine Keith, David's wonderful wife, who was his girlfriend at the time. He was making Attack of the Herbals. And go back and listen to that episode if you haven't. Those of you who have listened know that, or our interview with David, rather, after Attack of the Herbals, he put it point blank. She came in and saw what a fucking mess it was that, you know, they're trying to shoot this film. They had no clue. So she busted out a spreadsheet, put everything in order, and made it happen.
Yeah.
And has done so, you know, from then on.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because it is a skill that you have to have.
Oh, it definitely is.
You know, we've talked to people who have learned how to do it. And we've talked, I'm not going to mention names, but a few people who have said, yeah, I learned how to do it. And I found it very complicated and not at all. So I have chosen to just not do it. It's easier to just not do what you are bad at doing.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Well.
So bring us into some ghosts of darkness.
All right. I'm going to set the mood.
Do it.
No, that didn't work, did it?
No.
All right. Ooh, spooky. How about that?
Sure.
Okay. So we start with a young girl looking at a closet in a bedroom, which creaks open. She closes it and it opens again behind her. And then we see a shadow like pull her off the bed and inside. It's very like creepy start.
Yeah.
And then there are a lot of shots. And it's funny because here's what I wrote for this. I'll tell you what I wrote and then I'll tell you what happened.
Sure.
I still just love David's style of simple, clean, but striking cinematography. But really what's happening in the scene is that there's like a car driving through the beautiful Scottish countryside.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of shots of that. And then the car pulls up to a stunning old manor house covered in red ivy that I want to go and visit.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh, they're all so gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. So a man gets out of the car and he goes up to the door, but the door is already like ajar. And we learn that his name is Jack because he's calling out to whoever might be there, introducing himself, but no one comes down. And it takes a while, but eventually another man comes down the stairs and we learn this is Jonathan. They both got this mysterious card in the mail inviting them to come here. And then I call him Baldy, which feels mean.
I just called him Bald Man.
Oh, okay.
Baldy. That is a little bit more aggressive than bald man.
Yeah, it feels mean, but I'm just going to go with it.
Run with it.
Yeah. He says that his client invited them both there. So he's working on behalf of someone. He gives them a file of the history of the house. Lots of murders have happened in this house. Lots of murder, suicide, weird stuff. And we learn that Jonathan is a psychic and Jack is a skeptical paranormal investigator.
Yeah, or debunker is
Sure.
what I've referred to him several times.
Yeah.
He likes to debunk the frauds.
Yeah. I just call him a skeptic, but that's okay. So he is offering them a job. They have to stay in this house for 3 days. And then at the end of those 3 days, no matter what actually happened in the house, they're going to say nothing happened.
Yeah. That was made very clear.
Yes. And if they do this, they'll get $50,000 each. Seems simple enough.
One would think.
Right. So we learned that the last family that lived there were killed by their very young daughter, who was found stabbed to death in the closet, but like she stabbed herself to death, but in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a suicide where she stabbed herself to death 8 times in the back.
Yeah. And this is not atypical of the deaths that have occurred in this house.
No.
Many of them are kind of similar, where they were called suicides, but it was like physically impossible. You know, there was like one guy who shot himself in the back of the head with a shotgun.
Right.
Which, I mean, if you've ever handled a shotgun, that's quite a feat.
I guess you could say it's not impossible.
Right. But just highly improbable.
But yeah, there's a level of work and planning that has to go into that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why anyone would bother for what the end result is going to be.
Right.
Anyway.
So Baldy, they agree to do this. Baldy takes their phones and car keys and tells them, oh, also, you're going to be locked in the building for the full 3 days. You can't leave.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
No one in, no one out.
Right. So as soon as he's gone, Jack is pulling out all of his like ghost hunting equipment. He's got a suitcase and he's gearing up.
Yeah, I called it a Batman style belt.
Yeah.
He's got like this big web belt. Also, it's just like loading it up with stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I was a little envious.
I get it.
As you know, a little segue. We love talking with paranormal investigators.
Oh yeah.
And we did know someone at one point who was getting into it and went with someone who did.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I actually ran through like 6 hours of sound.
Yeah.
For them through a spectrograph looking to see if anything was there. Unfortunately, there wasn't. But gadgets. What?
Gadgets.
So anyway, sorry, back to the movie.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many tangents I could go on here, but I'll talk to you about them later.
Sure.
Gushing about belts and stuff. Anyway, Jack and Jonathan are not getting along well.
No.
Right. And we learn that Jack isn't there for the money. He only cares about proving that this haunted house is bullshit.
Yes.
And John is like, totally in it for the money. Seems like the easiest gig in the world. Have fun with that.
Yeah. He's like, why bother? This is just a bullshit gig for 3 days. Just sit back and chill.
Right.
Why do any work?
Yeah.
And we already know what the end result's going to be, according to Bald Man.
Right.
Baldy.
Mm-hmm. So they're both sort of exploring the house, and some little things happen. Like while John is, scavenging the kitchen for food, there is a pram that is just in the house for some reason that moves on its own. Jack is investigating the closet that we saw right away in the beginning of the movie. And as he's about to open it, it opens. Like before he can even touch it, it cracks open.
Yeah.
But he doesn't think a whole lot of it, right?
He takes a picture of it.
Yeah. But John calls him down before he can investigate further. And when he leaves, the closet opens fully on its own.
Well, he did pull out a meter just as John was calling to him.
Right.
And it got a high reading.
Right.
That's all I noted.
Yeah.
I don't know what that reading meant, but it looked like it went from far left to the far right. So I thought, well, it's got to be something.
It does. Yeah. And actually, I had read, and we can talk to David about this, but all of the equipment that he uses is actual like paranormal investigative equipment that they borrowed from some paranormal investigators.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it looked authentic because I've seen enough shows and talked to enough people. I understand the stuff they use visually.
Right.
Right. But everyone has a little slightly different take on what they use it for.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
So ultimately, Jack gets fed up with John's nonsense. Right. And John decides he's going to go set up in a room and stay out of Jack's way. They have a bit of a spat, and Jack goes up to apologize like right away to find John setting up a salt circle with a Ouija board. And Jack is like, well, I'll stay and watch. We'll see what happens here. And nothing exciting happens.
Nothing exciting happens.
Nothing exciting happens. It's pretty quiet while they're waiting for something to happen after John like calls to the spirits.
Right.
And John makes this offhand, because Jack is being kind of a dick about it.
Yeah.
And then John makes this offhand comment about how Jack's wife must have had the patience of a saint.
Oh, yeah.
And that sets Jack right off.
Oh, what did you fucking say to me?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, ouch.
So yeah, Jack storms off, and then the board starts talking to John, and it tells him 2 nights left.
Yeah.
Which is creepy. And it moves like all on its own.
Yeah. So one thing, when Jack storms out, he's got a rosary.
Yes.
That he's clutching. And I'm like, well, that's kind of an unusual thing to pull out. I'm like, well, maybe because we just talked about his wife.
Right.
Maybe it's his wife's. Right. So, after we see the 2 nights left thing, we cut to Jack and we see him opening a bathroom door and he sees his wife in the tub, all bloody. And like in short order, she says something and she cuts her own throat. And you can see she was holding the rosary. And then he wakes up covered in sweat.
Right.
Yeah. And just as he does, there's these like clumping footsteps outside of his door. And then there's a shadow under the door.
Something going bump in the night.
Yeah. And then it leaves. So he gets up, starts roaming. Jonathan's in bed.
Sleeping.
Sound asleep. And then, Jack sees nothing else. The next day, Jack's making notes. Jonathan comes down, tries to tell Jack about the board. And Jack, of course, just dismisses it. Like, yeah, of course it happened when I wasn't there. And then he tells Jonathan that they're not alone in the house. Someone is there to fuck with them.
Right.
Okay. So then Jack installs motion sensors kind of up and down a hallway. Later, Jack finds a knife in the kitchen, and it's the one that his wife was holding in his dream. And it's got blood on it.
Yeah.
So he touches it, and we get one of those like quick flashback things where you can't, not enough to sort anything out. And then there's like a mess of flies everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just like fucking everywhere. And so far, I mean, what happened with the wife was gory.
It was gory.
Okay. But let me just say, a mess of flies, a swarm of flies, fucking creeps me out. I hate flies.
I get icked out by that too.
So much. And it's so stupid. It's like, it's a fly, man. It's a swarm of flies. They happen.
Yeah.
I can watch all this other stuff and be okay with it, but that got me.
I mean, for me, it's like the sound. You know what I'm
just
saying?
And I just associate it with rotten, rank,
Yeah.
stenchy, just, just the worst.
Like that's the sound of garbage.
Yeah. I like that. Sound of garbage.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, it yucks me out too. I'm not a fan.
So he goes downstairs to some kind of basement. Now, I wrote basement, but I don't think it's actually a basement. I think it is a lower level. And it seemed almost like maybe the front of the house, like one of those, split ranch.
Like an upstairs, downstairs, yeah.
Where, the front of the house is this, but then the back, there's a lower level where the ground is lower, like on a hill, and then the back is exposed. Because there's a lot of tile.
Yeah, it seems to me like a downstairs kitchen or something.
It reminded me a bit of Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Right, in the kitchen area with the deliveries and stuff, kind of like a wet room where mud and shit could get, and they just hose it down.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an old manor house, so.
And that's kind of what I thought afterwards. But, heat of the moment, fingers had to put something in there.
Sure.
Basement. So as he gets down to the bottom and starts looking, behind him, a young girl runs through the door that he just came through. And he kind of looks up, sees her, and off she goes. So he chases her. And then we hear her laughing off in the distance, right? He yells for Jonathan to grab the camera. And then Jack ends up charging right into an indoor pool. He just like bursts into this room in like 3 steps because he's going full speed. He's in a pool. Of course, Jonathan, when he comes in, is like, oh, they didn't say anything about a pool.
Right.
Right. Later, Jack is reluctant to talk about what he saw. Jonathan grabs a picture of the girl who died because it's in that folder.
Right.
There's a lot of pictures of all the deaths. I mean, there's hanging shootings. All
a lot of very gruesome photos in that folder.
Yeah. And then presumably a bunch of information.
Yeah.
Documents and stuff going way back. And then as they're, it's like, is this her? And then the motion sensor goes off. So Jack goes to find what set it off, ends up going down the hall into a room, finds a doll on the floor with no head, but it's fucking bloody.
Yeah, a bloody beheaded doll.
Yeah.
Just very quickly.
Yeah.
This movie already, right? We're not very far in, but it is just like event after event after event after event. Like there is not a lot of downtime.
Right.
Between these creepy events. And I really like that because a lot of the like paranormal, supernatural films that I have seen do a lot of fake outs and don't have a lot of good stuff.
They do. Yeah.
And there's also just a lot of like boring downtime.
Well, that's just it. And we're going to talk about it at the end once the whole thing has been reeled out. Just that very thing.
Yeah.
That's what made this fun and refreshing. That's kind of David's style. He doesn't fuck it out. There's no need for a long fiction. Why build up a fucking story that actually has nothing to do with a slasher coming in and tearing shit up?
Right.
Right. Redwood Massacre, we have the general setup, right? But even before the general setup, Burlap's fucking with somebody.
Yeah.
Right. Bam. Oh, okay. Here come the characters. So we get to see their faces before they get dusted. We talked about like Attack of the Taddy Bogle.
Yeah.
We got everyone coming together. Again, we got just enough to see who everyone is so we can count the number of bodies that are going to end up on the floor.
Yeah. And then there's an axe in somebody's head.
Yeah. And then there's a knock at the door and this guy just starts fucking killing and it doesn't stop.
Yep.
Right. So anyway, different levels of horror movies, but you're absolutely right. This, there's no fucking about here. We're getting right to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk more afterwards, because there is a lot more to just shit happening, but David is really, really good at filling in all the stuff that usually takes people 45 minutes to an hour
to get to
in their, to fill up in their film.
Oh yeah.
And he ends up giving more in, I'll say 7 minutes in between stuff than most people do in that first hour before the shit kicks off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Anyway, so it's this bloody doll head. They argue again if it's ghosts or someone being in the house. So that's still a major level of disagreement there. Jonathan offers that it's a demon in the house that's doing all of this.
Yeah, and it was the doll that made John be like, I'm done fucking about. I'm to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. it's one thing when somebody's rattling cans and shit, right? Because he hasn't had the visions.
No.
You know,
his time has been pretty chill, actually.
Yeah. I mean, he's, you know, if he was a stoner, he'd have a bong sitting by the fireplace, just know, counting the hours. But yeah, that doll took it to a different level. This is more than somebody just making spooky sounds like Scooby-Doo and shit. That's creepy. So he reveals he's got this book on demonology, and I love this, but he doesn't know how to do anything with it.
Yeah.
That comes out as they're having this conversation. It's like this, so what do we do? He's like, oh, I have no fucking idea how to use that book. Jack's like, then why do you have it?
I think at one point he says, I've never messed with demons before.
Yeah, I've never messed with demons before. I've never done any of that. So later, Jack he's all belted up again about someone being in the house messing with them and wants to find out how they're getting in.
Sure.
Right? Now, I get that. I would have thought in this giant ass house, it's super easy to hide someone in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty fucking big.
Well, there's only two of them. Like, they can't possibly, you know.
Right. And in all these manor homes, these old ones, a lot of them have those like hidden door, servant door things that most owners don't know about. Like if you bought it today, because they're so well hidden, or the family before you just like wallpapered over it.
Yep.
You know, and then you got all these creepy shit in hidden hallways.
I want a house like that so bad.
I know you do. I do too.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. So anyway, he decides he's going to go give a look about, and then he gives Jonathan one of his walkie-talkies so he can keep touch.
So John is reading through his book, and as he is, something wild and scary is creeping up behind him.
Yeah.
And it's not like a shadowy figure. Like, I don't want to kind of give away what it is, but it's a full-on, like, big scary.
Yeah. Something physical is just like, what's going on there?
Right. And then he looks and there's nothing there. And we see Jack in the basement, but John has like sensed that something is up and he tells him to come back up right away. But there are some problems with the walkie-talkies.
Yeah, it's all staticky.
Yeah, they're not working.
No.
So John he's going through the house and he's looking for Jack. Because I don't think he actually knows where the entrance to the basement is.
Yeah, he hasn't done much of anything.
Right.
You know, Jack's been all over this damn place.
Yeah. So he opens up a door that was locked before because it kind of like draws him in, right? Mm-hmm. So he opens up this door and there's nothing behind it. It's like a broom closet, but not a real broom closet, right?
Right.
It's like maybe 6 inches deep.
Yeah.
And there's just wall.
Yeah.
Right? Like literally you could put a broom in there and that's about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to put a pair of shoes in there lengthwise.
Yeah.
Wall to door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had at a place that I worked, there was in like a physical therapy room, what I called the dumb closet. Because it was just like this. And it even had bars for like hanging stuff in it. And I would open it and I would be like, why?
Can you get a hanger in there?
This is dumb. Why is this dumb closet here? You can't put anything in it. Why not just have the wall be wider? But okay. You know, I guess there are dumb closets everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So he closes his eye and touches the wall, and then he sees this like symbol in his head.
Yes.
And then we see in the basement, Jack is finding that same symbol, which has been like scrawled in blood on a wall in the basement. And there are a lot of spooky things happening.
Yes.
Like almost too much to take, full notes about. But Jack ends up back upstairs and the phone is ringing. And they discover that the connection cord has been cut.
Yeah.
So it rings, they kind of let it ring out. And then it rings again and John answers and it's Jack's wife So he hands the phone over to Jack. And she's crying that it's all his fault. And this is where Jack just comes undone.
Well, yeah, she says, she's sobbing.
Yeah.
And she says, "It hurts so much, Jack. This is all your fault. Why did you let him do this to me?"
Right.
And then silence.
Yeah. So Jack and John are talking. Jack's wife was a psychic. And he tells this kind of whole story about how she, kind of slowly went mad after she made contact with an evil spirit and was convinced it was trying to kill her. And Jack wasn't sure kind of what was going on. And he was very skeptical about what was happening. He thought that she'd been taken in by a bunch of psychic bullshitters.
Yeah. It's just that she'd, been brainwashed. That's what he, at the time, what he thought it was all about.
Yeah.
And
then she ended up killing herself in front of him. So the next morning.
And it happened exactly as we saw in his flashback dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a real thing that had happened.
Right.
Yeah.
So kind of the next morning, John is a man with a plan. He has read through the history of the house. And he's found out that people related to a massacre that happened ages ago at the house. So the descendants of people involved in that massacre. Richmond's? Something. I didn't catch the name.
Yeah. It was a family from 200 years ago.
Yeah. So kind of the descendants of them have all been returning to this house. Everyone who's come back to the house has been somehow related to that event. And they've essentially been coming back to get murdered, including Jack.
Yeah.
And so John is kind of puzzled as to why it wanted him there also. But his theory is that it feeds off of psychic energy. That's how it gets more powerful.
Right.
And so they're looking through these old photos, and John is very disappointed. I mean, Jack finds Baldy in one of these old photos.
Yeah.
And John is incredibly upset because he knows that this means he will not be getting his money.
Yeah. Because, yeah.
He's right pissed about it.
Yeah. Well, and I love that bit.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I thought it was a moment of brilliance in the writing.
Yeah.
Okay. So all this is going on. You see the guy who set all this shit up and got you here is in a picture from 100 years ago.
Right.
Right. Or the turn of the century or even the 20s. I didn't catch the date.
Right. But it was far too old for him to still be kicking.
Oh, yeah. Because he
at the same age.
Yeah. He was old at the beginning and he looked old in that photo. So it didn't make sense. So instead of being like, "Oh my God," he's one of the ghosts and could be doing this and that. He's like, well, there goes the fucking money.
Right? Damn it. I have a lot of debts, man.
So we find out that Bald Man is the bastard son of one of these Richmond people.
Right.
And they go through some stuff and they come to the conclusion that the closet door upstairs that we saw in the beginning,
right,
that Jack did a reading on that opened for him, that is the place of entry for this thing. That's
for the demon.
Yeah. So later they set up a ritual and they're standing in a salt circle. Jack hears something and goes to check it. And I love this. Jonathan starts chiding him. He's like, "Really? What did I just say?" And he just got finished telling him, "We're fine inside the circle. Don't step out of it.
No matter what you hear."
Yeah. And then the first sound, off he goes. Yeah. So I both of these guys did really well, but I gotta say, Jonathan's character, I think was just a lot of fun to watch his reactions. But anyway, more on that later.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack chases after something downstairs. He comes face to face with this really messed up woman with red eyes. And It's Dino Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa Cameron. Yeah. Anyway, I just had to say that because she'll always be Dino Girl.
That's okay.
Always. Can't help it. Not to be mean. It's a term of endearment. And new listeners, well, listen to past episodes and you'll find out. So anyway, yeah, her eyes are red, and it's this weird, and it's not like full on red. These are actually like the iris and everything.
Yeah.
You know, these looked a little weird, in a good way.
Oh yeah, they were
right?
super creepy.
We've seen a lot of contacts and CGI stuff to change eyes. I just thought, man, I don't like what she's doing. She's funky looking, and I know something bad's going to happen, but those eyes are my least favorite part of this whole situation because they're just creeping me out.
That's so funny because when I see things like that, and especially when I saw that, I was like, man, I would love to have like a full on collection of different color creepy contacts.
Well, I mean, if I was a different person, I would too. But I can't even entertain the concept of contacts.
Yeah.
I can't anything in my eyes. Absolutely not.
Oh, I want like a full, set. All the different creepy.
Oh, I know it. Well,
I want the zombie eyes.
You had the purple ones.
I did, but they're expired. And
yeah, but you had them for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, we'll talk more about contacts later.
Sure.
So anyway, she's there with the red eyes. He calls for Jonathan, who, when he goes downstairs, sees a different ghost.
Yeah.
They run into a room, and the door opens, and it's Red Eye Woman. So now Dino Girl is now Red Eye Woman because she was the first one. Jonathan shoots her.
Yeah.
And she goes down.
Yep.
Like hole in the body and everything. Jack runs off somewhere and then comes back, and he grabbed a picture of the dead woman. And then there's this other ghost, and it's Liam hulking his way through.
Yeah, just as a dead handyman.
Yeah, he's the one who hung himself in the photos. His eyes, and we got to ask David, I wonder if this was done in the remastering. Because, folks, this is the remastered version that's on David's channel, Clear Focus Movies.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. He not only does he have the red eyes, but they're not
lined up.
They're not lined up, and they're kind of one's elongated. And it made the red eye situation worse for me. Eyes fuck with me. Oh God damn.
I know. I loved them. I was like, oh yeah, look at how creepy they are.
I was just thinking, God damn it, I hope you guys kill him quick because I don't want to see this too many more times.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
I don't want to see Liam dusted off the screen, but those eyes were getting me.
I want a creepy handyman to stay around for a while.
God.
And he does.
Well, for a little of it, Jack shoots him, but he doesn't go down.
Oh, he's big.
And then Liam's a big dude.
Yeah.
And then, these big characters. So anyway, at this point, I just wrote, what truly fucked up eyes on this guy. and I love it, but it's killing me. Ugh.
So, yeah, the gun doesn't do it. Neither does a knife because he tries to stab him too.
Right.
And shit's kicking off.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Like, for real now. So John is dealing with this stabby girl ghost who's trying to get him.
Yeah, well, yeah. At one point he finds female ghosts huddled, sobbing.
He keeps stabbing him in the leg. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he tries to help her, and then she stabs him in the foot.
Yeah.
Right, like Benny Hill style.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps going at him.
Yeah. My notes at this point are not quite as detailed because there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, I've got a paragraph.
Yeah. Jack is also dealing with some other ghosts because they're all coming out of the woodwork now.
Yep.
John manages to get back up to the closet room, which is I feel like it's high up in the house.
I think it's the highest floor just by the
an
angle.
attic-y kind of bedroom.
Yeah, the angle of the different rooms and also the way this closet is. And then it looks like the roof is angled towards like the closet's built out.
Well, it's a really good room to have this in because it's very visually interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So John's managed to start the ritual, and Jack is trying to make his way up there. On the way up there, he sees his dead wife.
Yeah.
But she is the demon now.
Yeah.
So he, talks to her a little bit and then wards off the demon with her rosary, which he still carries on with him. And he goes up to do the ritual with John, and they do it. It takes some time, and it's not, it's not super clean, but they seem to have banished the demon. And John goes, that seems like it was a little too easy.
Yeah, that can't be right.
That can't be right.
Way too easy.
And he turns, and Jack is trying to choke him.
Yeah.
Jack's been possessed.
He's got the red eyes.
Yep. So John stabs him, apologizing as he does it.
That was a really good scene.
It was a really good scene.
Or that moment in the scene. That was a really well done moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, it's sad, but So Jack dies. And then it's the morning after. 3 days are up.
Yep.
John walks out of the house, and he seems pretty pleased with himself.
Yeah, he starts laughing.
Mm-hmm. He's still holding the shotgun. Because, when you're in that situation, you don't let go of your weapon, no matter what.
Absolutely not.
Smart choice, John, my dude. Then he hears a voice behind him as he's walking out. And it says, "Leaving so soon,
Mr. Blazer."
Yeah. And he turns with the shotgun. End film.
Yeah.
Fade to black.
Yep. Roll credits. So now in our older format, we'd still be going on about this because there's a lot of beat things that happen.
Yeah.
And we summed it up. But I think this gives a clear idea to the listeners that, when you watch this, there's going to be a lot of shit going on.
Oh, yeah. It's just nonstop action.
Absolutely. Let's start talking about that. What made this what we talked about in the beginning?
Yeah.
What makes this as horror fans, what makes this a really great horror film is that we get in it and we go for the ride till the end.
Oh, yeah. There's one fake out moment in here, and we didn't actually cover it, but it's the old, the hand on the shoulder, and the person is like, oh, and they turn and it's just their friend. Right.
Well, and that was more of and I call it I don't know what I call it. It was a jump scare. And we've talked about if jump scares are done properly, they work.
Right.
And it wasn't anything that was leading us to believe it wasn't a false buildup, like some sort of presence or something was coming. It was a moment of concentration where it actually draws you in. And this is the only time I like them, is when the writer and director are able to frame this and pull you in. Mm-hmm. That when someone just shows up and says, "Hey, what's going on?" You're like, I can piss my pants.
Right.
Instead of the big buildup, like you're expecting something. And instead of feeling that, I almost pissed my pants. You're like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Nothing. All that for nothing.
I know.
Right. Yeah, that was the one time, but it was done well.
Oh, yeah. And that was great.
Yeah.
But it is just nonstop. You're learning stuff. You're not, ever sitting. You don't get a break with this movie. Which
you really
I
don't.
like a lot. That's the point of horror movies, is to kind of keep you on the edge the whole way through. That's why people like them, because it's an adrenaline thing.
Yeah. And we talked about how, there are fads, right? Certain periods that certain types of films do better. Because when David did Redwood Massacre, he did that as an homage to the slasher films of the 80s, right? And for some reason, it didn't kick off. I think it just was lack of attention, because it started to, as more people found it,
Yeah.
things were happening. But here's the thing. Even Redwood Massacre wasn't a full homage, because while people sit here and laud, and we do too, Friday the 13th, I mean, there's a lot of murder movies and stuff, before that, but it really set a new tone. But if you think back on it, if you remember, folks, that movie, it goes on for a long, long, long fucking time before anything happens.
Yeah.
All we get are like the POVs from the woods. And it wasn't even that back then, because that didn't become the thing. So it was more like the whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, music with like a little bit of shaky behind a branch thing as two people are almost taking their clothes off on the beach or something. It was a lot of just creepy stuff.
Right.
And, it was, the movie's almost over before shit kicks off.
Right.
And it's murder, 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 last girl standing, fleeing, and then the resolution.
Yeah.
Right. And that became a formula, which they started changing up because people were getting bored with that. It's like, I'm here to see a horror movie. I couldn't give a shit about any of these fucking characters' pasts and histories and romantic entanglements and their social whatever the fuck is going on. I just want to see some people come in, get set up, and then I want shit to happen.
Well,
I want to see how it unfolds.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with this. And I want to say, like, kudos to David. Gosh, we're just gonna, sorry, David. I know you.
we're just gonna gush.
Yeah. Well, if we get it all out now, then we'll be less gushy when we talk to you.
I won't.
Yeah. Well, I tried. So all of the things that happen are very like cleanly shown too. It's not ever like a shadow passing by or, anything like that. It's, this door is opening, right? And there's no question about whether or not the door is opening on its own. It's obvious. Or there's like the pram that moves. Mm-hmm. And my personal favorite is when John is reading and the thing is creeping up behind him.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In any other paranormal movie that I have seen, that would be like, it'd be blurred, so you couldn't quite tell what it is, or it'd be real quickly flashing across the screen, or it'd just be a shadow. And I feel like all those things are really lazy and they don't scare me. Right?
No.
I see that stuff and I'm like, yawn. Okay. I'm a seasoned horror aficionado, right?
Yes, you are.
But the thing that is creeping up behind him, I'm like, holy shit.
I know. And I like that.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Because I think one of the keys that makes David's stuff so successful is this, and like Redwood Massacre and even like Attack of the Herbals, right? The audience is brought in.
Oh, yeah.
On some things that the characters have no clue about, which I enjoyed greatly.
Yes.
It was like, oh, this is kind of new. It's happened others, but it's just so clean.
Yeah.
Like you said, the shadows and stuff. And then it comes to the big reveal at the end when they do that. I'm seeing, dude, you have no idea what you're up against.
Right.
And for the next 15 minutes, you guys are going to be fiddle fucking about trying to do your thing. And I'm thinking, no.
I don't like this thing.
That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you.
Right.
I wish I could call you because, oh shit, you have no idea.
Right.
I like that.
I like it too.
Because it adds a tension for me as the viewer. That, especially when they're still, Jack's still partially pissing about, this is all fake.
Right.
No, sir.
Well, it's the old, like, Hitchcock suspense parable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The bomb under the table.
Yep.
There's
kablam out of nowhere, or you show them the bomb.
Right.
And you're like,
you show them the bomb with a timer ticking down.
Yeah. Like, dude.
But the characters sitting at the table don't know it's there.
Yep. And that's how I felt.
Yeah.
After that, Jonathan turned around and it was gone. It was like, oh shit. For me, the whole game changed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you guys, get on board, man.
Right.
But this kicks off. Everything that happens has something to do with forwarding the story.
Yes.
We learn completely about Jonathan. We completely glazed over. Oh, there we go. Completely. Nice. Yeah. You passed it on to me. We completely glazed over Jonathan's bit of history.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just, folks, we want you to watch it.
Oh yeah.
So we don't need to give you everything, but you do learn about Jonathan and his gig, right? And why he does what he does. We've talked about learning about Jack, right?
Right.
He, after his wife did that, he's doing it out of guilt.
Right.
Right. Now
he's also doing it, either out of guilt or to prove that, she was taken in by these predatory psychic,
Right. And at one point he's like, I do want to find something.
Yeah.
Because then that will make me not the cause.
Right.
But until then, I want to expose every one of these dirty motherfuckers for frauds and, and stuff because someone else killed his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Is how he feels. We learn everything we need to know about the house.
Oh yeah. And why what's going on is going on.
Yep. And this whole thing is packaged 100% with all the necessary information. And all of that takes up less than 5% of this film.
Yeah, none of that backstory and explanatory stuff feels like, okay, now it's time for the exposition.
Right. It all fits in situationally.
Mm-hmm.
That is so natural and smooth transition from scene before this and then where it goes after. It is.
It's very elegant.
Well, yeah, David has an understanding of how life actually works. Right. And we always say you got to take life and you got to cut it up and fit it into film. Right. But he understands how these key moments work and he understands how to put them on film.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't take up a lot of time. It gives us everything we need. We don't feel like we've been kicked out of the story. We don't feel like we're being pulled away from whatever's going on. And it's not necessarily feeling like, oh, here's a bunch of jibber jabber. I guess we need a breather. I'm going to go pee.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It is sewn. I mean, if this were like a suit or a quilt, I mean, the seam work is so impeccable.
Yeah, it's tailored.
Yeah.
Yeah, David has a very elegant, writing and directorial style that
yes.
I, always look forward to when we watch one of his films. But man, somebody's got to pick this guy up, give him a big check.
I know. I
have him do a tentpole movie.
When we took our break in the middle of this, and I'm going to say it to him. So David, even though you're going to probably hear this before we talk, I looked at Danny and I said, how is this guy not fucking beating people away from his door?
Yeah.
What? I mean, and we know, cause this industry is just fucking ridiculous, but yeah, David Ryan Keith is somebody who should have people kicking his door down by people with bags of money, begging him to do a project, this, direct this. We want you to direct that. We talked about Attack of the Herbals, even with that no money, low grade equipment.
Absolutely
stuff,
no money.
right?
Yeah, that movie is so fun, but it is a very low budget.
Yeah, but what keeps you engaged is right then, he knew how to frame shots. And we talked the same thing about Peter Jackson with Bad Taste.
Right.
You can see the director.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You can see this guy, this is his style. And the only difference is I can see what he did with his $3 camera budget to his, $3 million camera budget. You get better cameras, you get slightly better results.
But you're still looking through the same pair of eyes.
Yeah. And we were very clear on that with Herbals. And then Redwood Massacre and Redwood Massacre Annihilation. I'm not going to give too much information out, but we did get to preview a script
Right.
for an upcoming project. And
it was great.
It was great, but it was also so easy to visualize.
That's true.
Because, I mean, it didn't have all of the, pan. It wasn't the shooting script.
No, it was just a spec.
Right. Yeah, it was just a spec. And he had a couple notes in there because, if you're the writer-director, you can write your script however you want.
Oh, yeah.
But it was so easy to visualize every one of those scenes.
It absolutely was.
Because he writes how he shoots. You can see and feel what's going to be on the screen based on this little bit here. And it made it just that much more of a pleasure because I feel like I've seen the movie already, visually.
Right.
And yeah, and it made it real easy to, absorb it and take it in and stuff. So, yeah, technically, folks, David's work is something you need to pay attention to. You need to look at. And it's so easy to say, well, if you have a low angle, right? If you're shooting a car coming down a country road from a low angle in a half pan, well, okay, that you can get 50 people in a room and you're going to get 50 results.
Yeah.
This is the result you want.
Yeah, I think so. And it makes it so that this movie doesn't feel like a low budget movie.
Exactly. Right? That's the other thing. Herbal's had a few tells.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, it did. Okay. But if you didn't know, so say he went back and remastered that. So cleaned it up visually so it looked a bit fresher, sharper.
Sure.
Because that's usually the first thing you can tell when someone is doing a low budget film. They don't have the greatest gear, so it's not going to come out crisp, right? If he were to remaster that, you could easily bill that as a purposely campy.
Oh, for sure.
Because we've talked about how people do. I mean, it is a successful genre, right? We're gonna as an homage to 80s films, we're going to do the whole full thing. The blow-dried hair, the fucking 8 montages, right? That mean nothing. And just going to do all the stupid shit and we're going to play it up.
Like Tucky did in Girl Scene with the like blown out lighting and.
Yes. And the super bad dialogue between some of the characters and stuff. You could easily say, oh yeah, that's what it was. Because even with all that stuff to make it work, someone has to have they got to bring it.
Yeah.
So in this, technically speaking, I don't think we need to get into a whole lot.
I don't think so.
Because it's all just so damn good.
Yes.
Now, David aside, the actors.
Oh, they were lovely.
Fantastic job.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always a pleasure to see. And I made a comment that David is Scotland's Joss Whedon.
Sure.
He's got his little troupe and those faces pop up in things. And I think that's magnificent.
Well, I think that's actually a really good piece of advice. If you have your like ride or die crew in your filmmaking,
absolutely
world, use them.
Well, especially in indie film. Think about it. If you have, Liam and Lisa and, if Steven were available to do, if you have these people who routinely show up for little or no money,
right,
and go through the fucking cold, especially Lisa talking about how just miserable it was getting the blood and then the cold and then it would gel and it was just uncomfortable because they shot part of it in the summer and then it's winter and she's got to wear a wet blood-soaked t-shirt and nothing else. That's chilly shit.
Yeah. Build yourself a ride or die crew.
Yep. Keep those relationships close and every project you have, right, offer them something in it. And it's up to them. Maybe they'll be like, nah, man, too cold, too often. I just don't want to do it. But also it says something about you.
Oh, absolutely. It does.
That, you can knock on a door, make a phone call and someone will be like, I'm there.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it's just fun as a viewer too. you know, just picking names out.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. And, you know, honestly, and I'm going to say this openly, no matter what the film is that David's involved in, we will always be looking out for Liam.
This is true.
Is Liam going to have a part? Is he going to just be in a photo? You know? Yeah. And, because these are two of the most lovely human beings that we've met. And we've met a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. But yeah.
It's like our Easter egg.
Yep. What are you all giggly about? See that guy right there? Yeah, that big, bald Scottish bastard. We know him, and he's super awesome.
He's super cool.
Yep. So, acting, anyway. These guys did a really great job. Because for the most part,
it's just them.
Just them.
Yeah.
We're
carrying this whole movie.
Yep. We're
These
in
2 actors.
Essentially, well, it was shot on 2 locations, but essentially we're in one location.
Right.
Right. This isn't like a run through the forest and all the different places and stuff like some horror movies. You know, they're stuck in a house and it's just the 2 of them, no other resources, except for Baldy. But he just like drops them off and then, you know, that's it. Yeah, they did well. And I liked Jack.
What did you like about Jack?
I like the way he was portrayed because he's kind of a dick. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just right off the bat, he's just super dickish. And it's not like accidental.
Right.
You can see that as the character that he's pouring himself into just being rude and unlikable. And that whole kind of, you know, I wasn't put on this earth to give 2 fucks about what you think of me or anyone thinks of me.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You know? Okay. This is a fine line in acting, and I want to give kudos to, you know, to the actor for this. Like, there's a fine line between, you know, playing an asshole who's just an asshole and playing an asshole who is an asshole, like, for a reason.
Right.
And right away, I was like, who hurt you? Well,
I know.
Who hurt you, my
Exactly. Dude? Exactly. So this wasn't, it wasn't like, I just don't care.
Right.
But again, well, I mean, it kind of, like I said, it kind of was. You can see he just doesn't fucking care, but there's something behind it.
Right.
And I was the same way. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for that fucking can to open. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I can't wait. Because, what lit a firecracker under his ass?
Yeah, you could tell immediately
and he's just
that there
going
was a
on
reason.
about it. Yeah.
And I like that a lot.
And he was, and this is an old writing style, but he was brilliantly evened out by Jonathan.
Oh, yeah. Right? I mean.
Now, the danger with doing that is usually they'll have somebody who's like all up in their own ass, like Jack. And then Jonathan will be like fucking borderline campy.
Right.
Right. Like over the top. And he wasn't.
No.
He just has a very mellow.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have this terrible thing happen to him like Jack.
Right.
So he's coming from a different perspective. So we have somebody who's out to show this is all bullshit. And then we have a guy who's like, this stuff's real, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
You know,
but he also doesn't feel the need to prove it to Jack.
Yeah. He's like, whatever. Call me a fake, call me a fraud.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I'm going to get $50,000 at the end of this 3 days either way.
Yeah,
so.
I'm going to go find a bottle of booze and some chips.
Fine.
You know, you go do your work.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, but you can tell he's serious about what he's doing because when they bring out that spirit board.
Yes.
Oh, that fucking thing. That's a looker.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, man. And I'm not going to call it a Ouija board. I love that they call it a spirit board.
I like that.
Because this thing is crazy looking.
Yeah, this is not
like,
the Hasbro version of it.
If you go visit a psychic and the Hasbro stamp is on their Ouija board, you might want to rethink it a bit because there are authentic, handmade, for people who are really into this.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for. Not when they bring it out of the box, unfold it. There you go.
Right.
Oh man.
It was a really cool board.
It really was. And I loved the fact that Jonathan's character wasn't the know-it-all.
Right.
Right. Because a lot of this gave me flashbacks to Poltergeist.
Sure.
With, as she was referred to in the movie, by Craig T. Nelson, the Magic Munchkin.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That's any more bullshit from the Magic Munchkin. She came in, told them everything. I mean, told us by telling them everything and more we need to know about spirits and poltergeists and what's going on. And it all ended up being bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
So well, thank you for that waste of fucking time. I love the fact that because there are people who, the genuine folks around, they know a lot about what they've focused on.
Mm-hmm.
But this kind of stuff is so much broader than any one person could ever wrap their head around.
Yeah.
And that's why they're such tight-knit groups, because they all have different experiences, views, understandings, talents. They'll talk about how, he's sensitive to this, she's sensitive to that. It's not like a one-stop shop. That's how you find a charlatan.
Well, yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, I'm in touch with everything. All right, go back to your circus, friend. But yeah, I love how he was very masterfully inept at the higher level stuff because he had never dealt with it. And he admitted it.
Right.
I've never, I've got this book, but I've never actually fucked with demons before. I've never had to. Right.
Right. He's like, I like hanging in the shallow end of the pool.
Yeah.
Right. I'm good there.
Well, he does make kind of a mention of you don't go out looking for trouble. And that kind of set up Jack's girlfriend, or his wife rather. She
did.
Well, she made contact, but then she got obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And kept pushing it. And that's the whole thing is, well, you can get this book and read it and know about these things that happen, but you don't go looking to make contact with one so you could do a ritual. That is not how it works.
Well, yeah.
Right. And any spiritual individual or psychic will tell you, you don't do that because that's lack of respect. And that is how you unleash everything bad on you, karma. To get into all this, you have to be respectful. And I think that's Jonathan's thing. He's aloof at his job, what he's doing here.
Yeah.
Right. But when they get to the nuts and bolts, especially when he's got everything laid out.
Yeah.
He's very professional. He's very factual. He's laid back. Right. But you see, this man has a grip.
He does have a moment in the movie, which is like one of my favorite moments of his. It's a very small thing, right? It's where he's about to go back into the room with the closet. And he feels something is about to like pop off, and he grabs those 2 vials of salt out of his pockets and pops the lids.
Yes.
And in a very cool, action movie kind of move, does a little spin around.
Like Kate Beckinsale in Underworld with the guns. She's
like,
blasting a hole in the floor so she can fall through.
Right. But just with the salt.
Yeah. He's like, and it's slow motion. The caps fly off and he just, starts rotating, circling himself in. I was like, that was
awesome.
That was full on Seven Samurai, Old West gunfighter badass.
Right. I loved it.
And it fit.
It did.
It fit him. Yeah. Oh, man. So the actors, excellent. Story is excellent. This is just the kind of horror. Like last week we talked about what happened to the clean comedy.
Right.
With Gods Must Be Crazy.
Yeah.
This, we talked about it. What has happened to just the straight, non-fan service horror?
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm being pandered to and talked down to when I see horror films that are clearly just fan service, lip service kind of bullshit.
Right. Now, we've talked about, like, we don't like Paranormal Activity, all the jump scare stuff, where there's really nothing. We don't like, for the most part, there's been a couple that worked, but we usually don't care for the films where you don't ever get to see anything.
Right.
And that's really endemic in indie horror because they just don't have the money for a monster. Right?
I get that.
It's like, well, we're not doing a dude in a mask. We're doing like a thing that came out of, like Cthulhu, right? You're like, well, we don't even have enough for like a stuffy of Cthulhu to try and pass it off. So,
yeah. And I mean, even so with that, I think there is something to be said with, writing a movie that is within your budget.
Right.
Right. Instead of writing outside your budget and then trying to figure out how to accomplish that.
Yeah. But a lot of the things, though, are just, the supernatural stuff that you don't see because it doesn't have a physical embodiment. We talked about how terrible It Follows was for
That's
us.
why I typically don't like supernatural movies.
Right, right. But this was simply a ghost story.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a ghost story is the oldest horror story there is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Before demons and devils messing with people, it was simply just ghosts.
Yep.
Right? Before werewolves and Frankenstein and vampires and all the things, just ghosts. Now, after the tens of thousands of movies that have been made, okay, David gave us a ghost story, which I'm generally not a fan of, for the very reason that all recent ghost stories, well, for the last 15, 20 years, actually, have just been a mishmash of shit.
Yeah. Boring and just meh.
Well, like House of a Thousand Corpses and just all these things. It's not about the horror. It's about the gore.
Yeah.
We love us a gore fest. We love us a gore fest, but don't bill it as a horror. Like a, proper kind of thing, and I think that should be a category, just gore fest.
Well, I mean, that's like slasher kind of.
Well, we've seen some slashers that take for fucking ever and are decidedly light on the gore.
That's true.
It's like watching Dexter, but through Disney lens. We've seen those, right? Where are the ghost stories like this, where it just is it is what it is. You have enough history, right? Now, we don't know who this demon was.
Right.
Right? Now, in a normal film, in a Hollywood version of this, we would have 45 fucking minutes of
the lore of the demon.
Of the lore of the demon and how this demon came to do this and why he's connected to that and what he's looking for and how to get out of it and all this and that. Mm-hmm. And I don't give a shit.
No.
I want to see some creepy stuff. I would love to see some gore. And David said, but for a little language, this could probably be almost a, family film. I think it's a little more gore.
I mean, I think
it's just be David being David.
I mean, there's I think the suicide scene is like really gory. I think that's probably the worst of them.
Right.
As far as gore, wise.
Yeah.
I would, I don't know what I would rate like on a,
Oh, it would be a rated R.
Yeah.
Because, that kind of violence with gore has to have an R rating.
Yeah.
You can't pass that off with the full Monty of
right.
the action and the result. Right. The effects, fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just say that too. Single that out.
Good stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, this, oh man, if you want to do horror stuff, this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
Model after this, because we would see 1,000 of these kinds of movies if they had this kind of pacing and just clean, it's just so tidy.
It is.
Yeah.
It sounds like that. It sounds like a weird compliment to give. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it means that other movies lack that, which is.
It does. If you if you want to write a gore fest, do it.
Yeah.
Because we'll watch it too, but don't bother with anything else.
Yeah.
Just give us some people and give us 5 minutes of them getting to where they're going and show us why this is kicking off, and then just let it kick off for the next hour or 25 minutes, you
Yeah.
know, and we've watched, what did we just watch?
I don't know.
Oh shit. Can't think of it. The one, the guy,
I need more.
Meatball Machine 2.
Okay. Yeah, the guy did not get me there.
Well, I was, you make this difficult.
No, I don't.
You kind of quit interrupting me and just let me go through my flow. Meatball Machine 2. I have no idea what the point of that was, but I will say this. That was a fun gore fest.
Yeah, it was visually very fun.
It was hilarious. The little alien things. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is that? They come up with some of the most outlandish shit, and it's great.
Yeah.
In Japan for their horror monsters. Fuck me. But anyway, we've seen Meatball Machine a long time ago.
Mhm.
And, you know, this was on, was it on, I think it was on Tubi.
I think so.
Yeah. So we're like, why not? Another background movie. And we actually watched it over a couple of days for our down moments. Yeah. But it was fun, and I would recommend it. I don't know that we would do it as an episode.
No, I would not do it as an episode.
Because the lesson for that simply is, for these kinds of movies, simply is do your thing and just go in whole hog.
Go wild and out.
I mean, oh yeah. They easily went through like 500-600 gallons of fake blood. Yeah. Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it didn't need to make sense because that's not why I'm there.
No. So back to Ghosts of Darkness.
Yep, Ghosts of Darkness.
We've talked a little bit about, the cinematography. Just beautiful. Just, everything is framed really well. The lighting is really good. Every shot is like nice looking.
It is. It all comes back to just, it's
none of it's
tidy.
messy. Like, yeah, it's really good. The music was good.
Yes.
The
scoring was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The only criticism is, he didn't find the right bucket to drop this in to get it all the way out there. People should be talking about this by the thousands in forums,
Yeah.
And it's not David's fault. That's just the business, shit kicks off or it doesn't.
That's true.
Or it might take even more time. I mean, this is newer than Redwood Massacre.
Yes.
So, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week about the Comic-Con, QuadCon and stuff, talking to the artists in that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a shame. It's such a shame. David should be, he should have personal security guards keeping people away from his front door because so many people should be coming after him to do projects.
Yeah, it makes me mad that, people aren't throwing money at him for, huge budget projects. But
yeah. But we know a lot of people like that.
I know that's true.
Everybody we've talked to, basically.
He's not the only one, but yeah.
But yeah, it's Ghosts of Darkness is a fantastic example of a good horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's efficient. It's fast paced without being like a slasher on the run thing.
Right.
It delivers everything. It doesn't cut anything out of the formula.
Yeah.
We have the spooks. We have the scares. We have the gore. We have some emotion because there's a few moments in here when you're just like, God damn.
Well, yeah, that last scene with John and Jack.
Yes. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Because we already said what happens.
Yeah.
And, listeners, there's spoilers. If you're new, sorry, too late. I thought that these two gentlemen did a fantastic job, and it was written just so simply. And it's a very small part of the film, very small moment. But we see Jack through the possession.
Right.
Right? Especially when Jonathan says, I'm sorry.
Right.
Because they had a bit earlier on, not a murderer, but I'll kill to save myself.
Right.
Right? Just the human reaction. And to see Jonathan's face and the way that was played out, and then you see Jack, who isn't the demon pissed off.
Right. He's just Jack.
He's sorry this is happening. He's sorry that he's trying to hurt Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
But you also see a little bit of like joy.
Yeah, relief.
Yeah, that he is done with this world. And I just got the sense, like at the very end, like he knows he's going to go see his real wife.
Yeah,
Not
I think
this
there is like
demon's depiction. His torment is gone. Yeah. You know, so like, I'm sorry it has to go with me trying to kill you, but I'm not upset with how this is going to turn out for me.
Right.
Right.
It's also like, it's a, you know, a gracious, you know, thing for John as well, in that when he sees that look, he knows that, you know, Jack forgives him for it. Right.
Right. And what I think this whole thing, what made it work is it's not like he just like, you know, shanked him and left.
Right.
You know, when he stabbed him, Jack stopped trying to strangle him, and he just held him.
Yeah.
Held him, you know, and that is a powerful, powerful thing.
It is.
And most movie makers know that. We see that, you know, especially like dramas and,
oh yeah,
you know, sorrowful romances,
mm-hmm.
right? That moment where you hold his or her hand as they're going, or you hold them, you know, and then like in action films, when that happens, that's when he or she stands up and is like, you know,
I'm done.
Oh, we're going to fucking.
That's for the climactic fight, right?
Yep. Goes to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This movie fucking has everything.
It does.
in very little digestible bits that just you don't realize until the very end. I just had a 15-course meal. It was delicious, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what else we can single out. I suppose we could single out everything, but we'd be here for like 20 hours.
That's true.
You know, you need to watch it. It has so many good lessons, folks.
Yeah.
And
check it out on David's YouTube channel.
Yep.
Clear Focus Features.
Clear Focus Movies.
Clear Focus Movies.
Yeah. I do it too when we told Tyler about it. I think I said it wrong the first time. Because it just comes out a certain way.
I get it.
You know, also go back to our older episodes on Attack of the Herbals, on Redwood Massacre and Redwood Massacre Annihilation. Listen to our interviews with David and Liam, and Liam and Steven, and hear about, you know, these guys working on these films and stuff. Yeah. You know.
And if you want to, I believe David is doing some crowdfunding for Ghosts of Darkness 2.
That's
sequel.
Yeah. So
if we have those links, they will be in the show notes.
If he's doing it just yet, I'll reach out to him and find out. If it's happening, it'll be in there. And if not, hopefully by the interview, because I know he was like ramping up, but nothing ever happens super fast.
Right. We'll throw out some tweets when it all gets, you know.
Oh, yeah. Like we do with everybody with the project. You know, Pondo Enterprises, they're still working on you know, Love Song. And that's all I'm going to say of the title, because I don't know how much of it is actually out there. You know, and when it's about to be birthed, you know, we'll be doing the same thing. So that takes us to
go check out our website,
www.lordsofmisrulproductions.com.
Everything is there. We got social media links. We got a blog. We got merch store. Hey,
platform
want some
links.
Merch?
Yeah.
Go. It helps us.
Yeah.
If you go
podcast
get some merch stuff.
Not BF McKillicuddy merch.
Sure.
Because BF McKillicuddy merch gets into a murky area that could involve jail time and high fines.
Yeah.
Anyone who's seen it knows. So there probably will never be BF McGillicuddy merch.
That's okay.
That's all right. It's just my little bitch box videos on if an alien was looking at Earth, what would he think of this bullshit all around? Don't need any more from that.
Yeah. The website also has our email addresses, so you
And
reach out to us if you've got stuff going on.
Yep, that's the important part. Reach out to us. Tell us about your projects, because you know what? Folks, we don't get paid to do this. We don't charge anybody anything. We push a lot of stuff. We've got Hilton Ruiz doing Zombie with the Shotgun 2. Kyle Hester is trying to get Feature 6 going. We will, talk about these things in the episodes. We'll put them in the tweets. We'll retweet as much as we can. Because now it's to the point where it's like it's hard as hell to find them in the flurry of people we're following.
Oh, I know.
But, we will do what we can to help get your shit out in front of people, whether you're trying to get money for it or it's been out. You're just like, I just want people to watch it.
Right.
Right. We're going to do our best, because that's the whole point of this podcast.
It is
to help folks just jumping into this, that, you know what? There's a bevy of films from people who are where you are at now.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody jumps into Hollywood like, hey, I want to be a director, and then immediately starts off like, fucking Spielberg. I'm a billionaire and I've got control of everything. No, you're serving tacos for tips, and you're living in a one-room apartment with 12 people, and you all still can't afford the rent, and you don't even have anything to type up your script on. Guess what? We're here for you.
Right.
And we're pointing you to people who are in pretty much the same situation.
Yeah.
Or who were there not too long ago.
That's true.
Yeah. Reach out to us. Let us know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And, we want to see it.
Yeah.
If we can work it out, we'll have you on the show. Boom.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So. I think that about wraps up. Yeah.
I think it does. Don't know what's happening next week. Maybe it'll be David. Maybe it'll be something else. And then maybe the week after it'll be David. Maybe it'll be something else.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We have a great.
We have a short period of time, because this is the Sunday before Thanksgiving that we're recording. So we're like on it, and everyone who listens knows we do this 2 weeks out. So we've got to come up with a retrospective or introspective, something that we always do for New Year's, right? Our Thanksgiving episode, as you heard, folks, by the time that came out for Thanksgiving week, was a bit of a bummer, because it wasn't actually about Thanksgiving. We were sort of hoodwinked.
We were tricked.
So we will probably, for Christmas, I think we're going to do one of your favorites.
Santa Slasher?
Yeah, we're just going to pick a Santa Slasher.
Awesome.
Because if it's got Santa, it's fucking Christmas, period.
I love Santa Slashers.
Unless we can find a really good non-horror Christmas indie film. But a lot of people don't do those. That's the thing.
That's true.
Not a lot out there, So Santa Slasher will probably be. All right. As you're listening to this, if you're in the north, stay warm. If you're in the south, kind of feel like saying fuck you for being so warm. But I say it with love.
Sure you do.
I do. All right. B-siders.
Until next time.
This is Jim.
And this is Danny.
And we will talk to you soon.
Bye.